As the party ascended into an evil temple, they encountered an Agent of Morgion, advanced mummy so to speak, who was desecrating a corruptive ooze that was causing sickness. As the encounter began, the party quickly was overwhelmed by this powerful monster.
I'm gonna chuck a fireball at him and see what happens.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
if you did that at the beginning.
Hey, I needed mage armor. What are you talking about?
Go ahead and move it.
Wow, perfect.
Yeah, right there. You might hit the hidden guy. Who knows?
This fireball erupts as Grin just slides to the door and he starts casting a spell and he slams in and a huge fireball. Yep. And he points in the center of the room, trying to minimize damage to his friends. Go ahead and hit the. I made a fireball macro, so go ahead and.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay,
Nice.
26.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it hits. You see this? The flames just totally start singeing him, and even the sand around him, you start seeing it burnt and falling to the ground a little bit.
Oh, wow. It turns into glass.
I know.
Yeah, it turns into glass. Molten glass is on him. He's covered in it. And you notice that the flame is burning blue instead of orange.
Oh.
Can you make a perception check? Actually, all of you guys, if you want to. Anyone in the area.
I think my guy's wearing shades right now. Oh, he saw something. I don't believe it.
For those that made the perception check, you guys are
What's the perception? I mean, what do we need to roll?
Or sorry, that rolled above 15.
Damn it! I think you check my rolls before you say that.
You've been hiding in that door too long, dude.
You notice that the flame is burning hotter than it normally would.
Ooh. More fireball! More fireball!
Okay.
I'll hold my action.
It's Flynn's turn.
That fireball really. I'm just gonna keep moving in, see if I can sabotage something later.
Okay. Can you roll stealth? Were you trying to roll?
Actually, yeah. Yeah. Let me go stealth 10, or I guess it wouldn't matter. Stealth 20. There we go. Yeah.
Okay.
Skill.
You guys don't know where he is, by the way. So
Yes.
when you're trying to position your spells, you hopefully will try not to use him or
I'm sorry.
abuse it. Yeah, that's something I have to risk, Flynn.
Yeah.
Nahum, it's your turn.
Wait, where? The fireball was like. I just want to, where it was.
Yeah,
You're
probably
right.
around there.
This
Yeah.
was outside of it, right? Yeah.
No. Go down one.
There is no singe mark over there, is what Bryn is trying to say.
Okay.
Nahum,
I move up and I cast Sanctuary on myself.
that's fine. You start casting. You see that the mummy instantly recognizes you or the spell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so much for sanctuary.
Torvin moves up, and most of this area is a difficult terrain, by the way, because of the sand. You see him sloshing through the sand as he's trying to move, and it's like in some places it's waist high, and some places ankle high. It really depends, and he's trying to get closer. And the closer you get to the mummy, the more sand there seems to be. Malachi, it's your turn.
I guess I go towards him. And it's half now, you said?
Is the fist still there by any chance?
The fist is still there. You see it's sort of like a nebulous, just a blob of sand right now.
Now, can we see through it? Or can I see him?
Yeah, you can see through it. You can probably see him, yeah.
I can perceive him.
Yes.
Okay.
Cringer and Solo.
Gone. Shocker.
Lives up to the name.
Cringer.
You can move, was it?
Use your arrow.
move-
Just use your bow, dude. Use your bow now.
Switch.
Switch to
Yeah.
keep on just hitting, yeah.
Because I'm gonna get hit. Look where I am. I'm between the sand pits again.
Well, he has to choose someone. It'll either be me or you guys. So he'll probably go after me because I'm the closest.
Okay, difficult terrain is half. Every one square is actually 2.
Just shoot arrows at him. Just shoot arrows. Just do your quick draw and shoot arrows at him.
All right.
So you got to drop your pole.
Because we don't know where this other guy too is, the hidden dude.
Okay. So I'm switching. Quick draw.
Yeah.
It doesn't drop, right?
Drop, yeah.
You don't have to.
Well, it's going to be a move action if he doesn't.
With a polearm? Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
move action to put his polearm away.
Yeah,
The free action to pull his bow out.
yeah.
All right, so
He can still shoot.
I take out one action and I can shoot. Hey, and it's undead, right?
Yes.
So
Ooh.
where do I put that?
You get a +4, dude.
Dang.
No.
No?
Your arrow's easily deflected by the sand that's swirling around him in a
Dang.
vortex.
Ah, it's a shield.
Or it could be flavor text.
Could be one or the other.
You see him as the swirling vortex is around him, from what you perceive is sort of protecting him. You see him just point at Nahum, and he grasps his hand. And all of a sudden, you see the sand around him. This fist that was there,
Okay.
just melds back in the sand, sort of like dissipates in the sand. And then from Nahum, what you see is
Oh.
just from the ground coming up is like a visceral face of him. It just swallows you whole, and you are now. Let me do a check. What did I say this is? I'm gonna do a grapple attempt
check
at you.
to see if you attack me. I
Yeah.
have Sanctuary on.
Okay, so that's a will save, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the DC on that's probably like 12 or 14. It's a first level spell. The little charm of protection that you have against you just shatters as this attack occurs, and you see like this face just swallow you, and you are covered in sand. Let's see what happens.
You can breathe.
Yeah, it does a 30. It 30 beats your CMD, right?
Yeah, it's gonna beat it.
Yeah.
Be fine.
So you just see the sand comes around you, and it just swallows you whole, and he's basically entombed in sand, and you are taking damage from it right now, which is you get 18 points of damage. And you see the sand like filling, it's being forced into your lungs, into your ears, into your nostrils, and it's just filling you up. And you just hear this muffled scream coming from this mound of sand where Nahum used to be.
There's no saving throw for that?
No, it's a grapple damage. Bryn's turn.
I'm gonna chuck a acid arrow at him.
Okay.
Range touch.
Pew pew.
Your acid splashes right into him, and it does 6 points of damage. And then DC round 2 and round 3 is 8 and 6. So just take note of that.
All right, got it.
So Flynn, it's your turn. You just see Nahum engulfed in sand, and yeah.
I'm gonna move up normally and do Bard Song.
Okay. You can only move 10, so I'll move you back one.
No, I've got Feather Steps.
Oh, that's right. Okay. You hear this voice echoing in the chamber, and you pinpoint it to be somewhere near the center of the room. Is a voice of Flynn singing and chanting and encouraging you guys.
Is it
Nahum.
courage?
Okay, can I step out of this, or I don't know exactly? what
You
this
could
is.
try to get out of it with a grapple roll.
Okay. So where do I put that?
An escape artist.
Click on you,
Oh,
and then.
never mind. I just get out. I have I have it.
Oh,
But
nice.
this is not. Is this a grapple? Or
Yeah,
does,
liberation.
You said
It's
grapple,
no
dude.
problem.
CMD.
well, I mean, does liberation do grapple?
Liberation does everything. It's freedom of movement.
Let's go ahead and allow that, so the grapple doesn't succeed, and you just sort of the sand just shimmers around you, and you're not under the grapple effect. But yeah. So Torvin moves in, and he gets that's one move action, and he does a standard attack against the column and the mummy. You see his battle axe and his war axe just slice through the sand, and you don't know if he connects with the mummy or not, but he's just trying to get at the mummy. It's Malachi's turn.
All right. So, doot. So this, and then. Oops.
Wait, why are you going up? Or no?
So it doesn't get a free attack on me? Well, I'm gonna do that corner and then down here. So, because I want to flank him. Boom! That better hit.
Nice.
Your
Hopefully.
hand sinks through the sand, and you feel that you connect with the armor or with a part of him, but you don't. You
Can't
don't
tell.
know if it does any damage to it.
Oh boy.
Can you cast that versatile thing on me again, Flynn?
Gotta get a little bit closer.
Okay, Cringer Solo.
Cringer solo.
Should we just ignore Cringer for a while?
Yeah. this is
Yeah,
horrible.
he's hurt. He's bleeding again.
He's licking his wounds.
Poor little
Again.
guy.
Yeah.
Just shoot him.
He
Okay.
doesn't have does he have the shooting to melee?
That precise shot.
Oh, he doesn't.
It's just -4, so that'll just cancel out the attack bonus from racial enemy.
Yeah, so just do that then. Okay. So yeah, many shot, rapid shot, take out the bonus, and that should do it. Full attack or full round attack.
Full round. Okay. Ready?
Pew pew pew.
That didn't do full round. You didn't do the for some reason it didn't do the rapid shot. Go and roll 1d20. Yeah, roll 1d20. Yeah, both those
No.
both those sink into the column of sand.
Dude.
One actually goes. You're trying not to hit Malachi, and you're so unsteady that you did a miss on that one.
Okay.
All of a sudden, you see a column of a wave of sand rushing towards Bryn.
Oh, nice. Hi, Sand.
Fist bump.
High five.
This is gonna hurt.
And
Ooh.
You just see the wave of sand just crash into Bryn as he just casted the acid arrow, and you get 20 points of
Run.
damage.
Run.
Yeah, that's not going to be nice.
No, run.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah, that kind of hurt. The next one that connects is gonna kill me.
Yep. All he has to do is sneeze on you, huh?
You see that the sand mound in front of you sort of settling down into the ground, and it is Bryn's turn.
So it's not in front of me anymore.
Hey,
It's a
is this
mound.
acid arrow hitting? Do you
Yeah.
know it?
That was 6 and an 8, so I'll do the 6 right now, and I'll do the 8 right now and the 6 later.
Okay, so he's taking 8, and
You see the acid just burning a hole through the sand and him at the same
well,
time.
I'm gonna fire off a magic missile. So
Okay.
probably the last of it.
Pew pew.
Do another
To
fireball.
the doctor.
No, you guys won't survive the fireball. Oops, wrong one. Sorry about that.
Yep, it's
There you go.
11. You see these 3 bolts just blast its way through the sand, and you see like ripples of holes where the blast went through, and it hits the mummy. And you just hear this deep coming from that area, and it's Flint's turn.
First time weapon.
I don't think he has DR. It's just been a lot of armor, right?
Roll
Hey, do you know
roll
anything
knowledge.
about this guy? Yeah, I was gonna say, do you know anything about this thing?
You've been observing him while this was going on. You know this to be a mummy, and you know that mummies. This is advanced type of mummy. This is sort of like a named boss, I would say. But he has a lot of similar traits that you recognize as being a mummy. Number 1, he's wrapped in linen. Number 2, he's undead. Number 3, the eyes are glowing. And you know that,
Fire.
and he has an amulet. And when you saw earlier that the flames were actually doing burning blue, they're burning hotter. It was actually doing more damage. And you know that they tend to resist damage done physically to them.
Got it. But damage done magically is pretty okay.
From what you may understand, arcane and divine arts are fully effective. You're still
Alright.
invisible, by the way.
Right. Okay, so then I will cast. Did we get a rest between?
No, we did not.
That's the
Well,
last
the
time.
Medusa you rested, and then we shot. After you rested, we fought a bunch of were creatures, and you casted like 3 or 4 versatile weapons during that time.
Oh, against the werebear, huh?
Yep. All
Okay,
that
so
stuff.
then I'm out of those.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Just attack it.
Oh, you see that the arrow darts through, and the acid just hits the column, and you just see the arrow just getting twisted into the vortex of sand.
Aw. Wait.
Damn.
Never mind.
I will cast Archon. Summon
Okay.
Archon.
You start praying to Mishkal, asking her for aid, and she answers your prayers as a small archon appears right before you. Zonk.
Like,
Pew, pew.
he has an action, right?
Yeah, he has action.
Okay, roll your save check.
Made it.
Ouch.
Okay, I will attack.
Pew pew. Lasers.
Guess not.
Humble.
The first light beam, once again, does a rippling effect to the
That's
sand.
nice.
You just see it burn into the mummy. And it is Torvin's turn. He has his full round attack now that he's closer. Okay, you just see him gripping his war axes real close. And
Nice.
Pew, pew. 2 hits at least.
he gets, let me see, the crit does not confirm. You see just a whirlwind of savagery as he attacks the mummy, and you see slicing the sand, and you see like bits of sand just falling down as he's attacking the column, and one of them connects right through, and it hits the mummy.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing enough damage. Yeah, I'll grapple it.
Okay. So you grab it, and you're trying to grab it, the mummy, but all you're doing is your hands pass through, and you're grabbing sand, and the column like rips around you, and you can't grab him.
Okay.
Okay, Solo's turn.
Are you grappling him?
He's trying
I
to.
was trying to, but it didn't work. Shoot him.
Yeah, like it didn't do anything, and it's driving me nuts.
Well, none of us are, so I'm assuming he has some kind of VR or something. Just want to nail him.
Okay, I have to switch weapons.
It's gonna take you a while to move there, though. So you can.
Yeah, I
move-
know.
How?
Yeah.
Only 20?
Yeah.
He has a
No,
reach
he-
weapon.
He'd have to move one more. So Solo's like trudging through the sand, and he gets up, and he starts going, and he moves closer towards the mummy.
Mummy time.
Oh,
Ha!
Oh,
Actually, you're
nice.
invisible still.
So it hits me.
I attacked.
Let me.
Oh.
Actually, can you roll a stealth check?
You want? I attacked last turn though.
Oh, you did. Oh, never mind then. Yeah, he's totally gonna try to do this.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Double slam.
So similar to what happened to Bryn, you see these two waves just crash into the both of you from both sides.
Annie, one more. I switched weapons, right? Because I took an action.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well-
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'll allow that. That's fine.
Okay.
So this is Solo. Does a 24 hit?
Does a 24 hit?
Yes, it does. And for Flynn, 28 hits. You guys
Oh,
do the damage.
that's ugly, dude.
So I'll give you guys some out of context knowledge of this guy. He has a pretty high AC, as you guys have noticed. And he's using, this is just because we're gamers, but he's using cleave on you guys. That's what this is representing. Cleave is when, if you hit one guy, you can hit the person adjacent to them if they're next to each other. That's what cleave does.
Is if you kill a guy. You get
No, that's the old
Not
rules.
only if we hit.
Oh,
Yeah, only if we hit.
The new rules is if you hit with you only make one attack. If you hit and there's a person adjacent to him, you could do another attack roll and see if you hit the second person.
Oh, because of the weapon spinning around.
Yeah, but in this case, it's just a wave that's trying to attack when
It's
people are
big
bunched
ass-
together.
I should know. I got nailed.
Mhm. Okay,
Not so
Eh.
pleasant, is it?
it's Bryn's turn.
Acid arrow.
Oh yeah, the acid arrow. Great, that's gonna be 6 points of damage to him.
Okay, and then another one. And 3 doesn't.
Oh, 8.
I
So you rolled a 8 after all your modifications.
Yeah, it's a 14 dex.
Yeah, you barely missed him
Oh,
with
that's all right.
with a touch attack. You just see another acid ray beam out from his hand, but it just harmlessly hits the column of the column.
I am almost out of spells, guys.
Wands,
Frost. Hey,
Unless
Frost.
you-
Hey,
Scroll.
Unless you run out of the area, I can throw a fireball. Oh, that spell.
Flynn, it's your turn. He is looking pretty. You notice that the sand that's around him is not as thick as it was. It seems to be less and weakened. And you see that he's been getting hit by the ass has been burning holes through him.
Oh. 5-foot step. And attack him again.
Ooh,
Nice.
crits. And the crit, it doesn't confirm though. 12 points of damage. So one of your bolts flies through, and you notice that
Fine, guys.
you've noticed that the sand was dropping in more areas, and you were waiting for your shot to where the sand was like the thinnest, and you just let your arrows fly. And one of them strikes true, and the mummy is very visible now because there's not as much sand around him, and it hits him, and you see him just impale into his shoulder.
The channel.
Oh, is this a hurting or healing channel?
Oh,
Marty?
healing.
I think healing.
Healing. What the heck? DC
yeah,
16.
No, it's just for me. If you're trying to do a hurting.
No.
Okay, so everyone in this area, can you heal yourself for 7 points of heal?
Yeah, but don't we take half because of we're diseased?
If you're diseased, you take half. So 4.
Round up?
Round up? Okay.
Because I'm feeling generous today.
Hey, it works.
So bad.
My Archon attacks.
Ooh. The 18 hits. You see one light just pierce through, and you see him just like block it because his eyes are getting blinded by this light, this holy divine light from Mishakal, and he gets 6 points of damage. Torvin's turn. You see him, and he's just doing this massive strike in an X formation as he's trying to hit this person, the mummy. Ugh, nothing was able to hit. The swipe motion just carries through, and you just see the sand just all of a sudden just blacks, makes a shield, and he just can't get through it.
Dang.
Dude is rough. He's tough.
Jeez.
Trying to figure out if I should grapple or if I should try to hit this thing. I put my fists together and I try to slam him with an overhead attack.
Pow!
One,
And
not hit.
a better hit.
That connected. Your first hit against this guy.
Nice shot, Miles.
Overhead slam, and you just hear the neck crack a little bit more as his head just sinks into his chest.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Wow. This guy's taking a lot.
By the way, I still have my detect magic. Is
Yes.
the other guy showing up at all? He has any
No.
magic weapons or anything?
Oh, the guy's down. You don't see any. You see a glowing nimbus area, that's not moving. It's sort of just nimbus, glowing haze. For right now. Let me continue with this, and then we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Malachi landed
Crushed his head.
the landing. You just crushed the head. The head just fragments in front of you, and all the sand that's in this room, the fists, the mounds, everything just drops to the floor, and you see everything quiet, which is like something you haven't heard in a while. Malachi just landed the final blow on the mummy, and you see the thing just sort of disintegrate and turn into sand, and you just see the wrapped linen just have a little pile of mound. So for Nahum, he sees this glowing, this glowing nimbus area. Let's say right around here.
Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna put your Archon where it is, because that's what you see. Yeah. You just see this haze, as if something magical either was there or is there. You're not sure right now.
Well, my Archon head's there.
Okay, your Archon heads there. You see it in terms of magic also. You see this bright light coming, and you see the area where it's trying to get to, the Nimbus area, is sort of fading away. Basically, you could detect auras, and what I'm saying is that the aura's not there anymore, but there's a lingering effect that the aura is picking up, but it's slowly going away. Basically, a spell is cast, and yeah, it's not there anymore, or the effect isn't there anymore. Yeah, you could relay that to the party if you want.
I basically tell him I think this guy teleported out of here.
Yeah, it has a good signature of a teleportation effect.
Conjuration. Or, conjuration.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do?
Loot!
I say
Loot.
explore.
Detect
so-
evil.
Detect evil.
From Nahum's eyes, he sees that there's a strong emanation of aura where the mummy used to be, and it's a magical aura that you could detect.
I cast Bless.
Bless?
Consecrate this sanctuary.
Oh, bless, as in that effect. You cast bless, and you notice that the elements that are in these bowls turn from the green ooze that you have seen before to something a little more inert, something that's not as either glowing or as green as before. So you believe your desecration spell has done something to affect
Last spell.
this this compound or this element.
All right. Look at the check on the mummy. See if there's any remnants or signs of like symbols, parchments.
Who wants to do this? Do that.
I'm doing it. I'm right
Okay.
there.
While he's doing that, I'm going to check out the throne. See if there's any.
You want to sit on it?
Just stand in front of it, look at it.
Bryn sits on the throne. Yes, this shall be mine. You see that there's a amulet with the symbol of Morgion. As I said before, this mummy was an agent of Morgion, sort of like a high priest, if you want to think of it like that.
Okay.
In terms of ranking, sort of like that. The amulet it has a strong magical aura. Yeah, actually, let's leave it with that.
Okay. I ask. Flynn probably knows a bit most about this thing, but I ask the rest of the group. Like, can you guys make out what this thing is?
Identify
magic, spellcraft.
I'll do this with Solo.
No, you need detect magic and spellcraft.
Yeah, but since Solo, this is flavor text entirely. But since Solo has been pursuing and trying to eradicate undead, he knows that this is he knows this is the mummy, but he knows that this necklace is not necessarily the channeling of its energy, but it's a holy symbol of its god, which is Morgion. And Bryn knows that this has been sort of enhanced or augmented. Not only is it a holy symbol, but it also retains as a way of sort of like a pearls of power, to say it at the easiest way.
It's not
pearls
a
of power.
phylactery or anything?
No, it's not phylactery or anything. Pearls of power allow a divine caster to recast a spell. And out of character, this one does level 3 and a level 2 spell.
Ooh.
Yeah, but who wants to
change? Yeah, you gotta change the symbol though.
Does it have to be divine spells?
It's divine based.
Hey, I think we got something for you, Marty.
I know.
Marty holds it. It cinches his hand. Ah!
Burns him.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Look at guys.
He has a symbol of Morgion now imprinted in his hand. How awesome is that? I'm a secret agent.
I pick it up with a stick.
So who holds on to this?
Who can?
I'll put it in a pouch.
Okay.
With a stick.
Bless it and change the symbol before I use it.
You feel uneasy holding a symbol of basically the nemesis of your god. Everything that this Morgion stands for is death, decay, poisoning, agony, and pain.
The fires of Mount Mordor.
So you feel a little uneasy, but you wrap it up. Do you have a bag of holding? Was that it?
Do you want to put it with a bag of holding?
Where do you put it in?
No, I was just gonna use a bag.
Okay, yeah, you put it in your bag, in your backpack, and you're keepsaking it for now. Other than that, you don't see any heavy auras of magic in this room. Torvin looks around, and he's like,
"Wait, so I have detect evil as well? I mean, is it glowing or whatever?"
Oh, it glows. Yeah, it glows. It's after spending a little time observing the necklace, you see a good aura of evil from it. Yeah, Torvin's looking around. He's looking at the barrels, and you guys believe that this is one of the areas that this desecration occurred that made this corruptive agent. As you guys saw earlier, what's in the barrels is not necessarily the 100% item that was used against you during combat earlier. Many of you were hit by arrows or rapiers, or even puked on by this vile ooze, corruption, or crud. But this one doesn't seem to be the full effect of it just yet. So, deducing from the conversation and whatnot, there seems to be other temples that have been creating such crud, and you guys were able to stop this one from occurring.
All right.
Yay!
Good job, guys.
We didn't have to take a bath in it.
Well, Solo pretty much did, trying to get a sample of it.
But I mean, are they still sick?
Yes.
Are we
guys?
still?
Yes, you guys are still sick. And you guys do have a sample of 100% crud and not 100% crud. So
So we'll take some samples, see if we can make a.
I'm trying to figure out how to burn this place to the ground.
And a
What
note.
was that, Marty?
I said I'm trying to figure out how to burn this place to the ground before we leave it.
It's made out of stone and sand and whatnot, so it's not flammable per se because this is a desert structure. They don't have wood as readily as other places.
Yeah, but
So-
stone cracks in tremendous heat, right?
And
Yeah.
plus the barrels. I mean,
They're not
are
flammable.
wood. Oh,
Any the unholy symbols and stuff we can desecrate.
I still have a fireball. So
wow.
The
Desecrate the desecration.
Almost.
The throne, you see, it doesn't resonate any magical aura, but you do see a lot of lore and a lot of like sort of worshipping of Morgion etched into the throne. You see like flailing, and you see people that are convulsed in pain and poisoned. It's sort of drawn all around this throne, and you if you look at it, there is skulls and such adorning the throne.
Nice.
I'll take a selfie before I destroy it.
Yeah, no, I was gonna take a picture of it before we destroy it.
Need a picture. It'll last long.
I'll use my camera, take a picture, and then we'll
You need
destroy
your
it.
selfies with the gargoyle, with this.
With the Medusa.
The cloak is just it's just dingy and dirty, and it just has a god awful smell to it of something that's been dead for thousands of years. But there's no magical auras emanating from it.
Can we search for secret doors?
You could do a perception.
All right.
Alright.
I got nothing better.
You could just take 20. But I'll just go ahead and let you guys know. You guys are pulling on the statues, pulling on the throne, trying to push all these
31.
nooks and crannies, trying to push 31, nice. Trying to push the stones, but you guys can't discernibly see anything that's out of the ordinary.
Okay.
There's no like cracks or air vents that you feel air coming from. This place is pretty much solid.
Crystal balls, anything that
There
that's-
is a crystal ball in the middle next to the throne room.
Yeah.
But you see it's more for Bryn, you notice it's more for
Bowling.
focusing the divine energy. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bowling ball, dude.
And we have to crack it so that nobody else can use it.
Sure.
Or something could come out and kill you.
True.
Yeah, you could try. You could try sundering it.
And the statues, anything different about those?
The statues are all bronze. They're 8-foot tall bronze, each one erect in a different pose of pain.
All right.
Try moving around. You try to look behind them. You don't see any lights coming from behind the walls or anything. So they look pretty centered. You do know that this is probably what they use to channel his desecration to make the crud.
Okay. That would make sense.
And you already
But right now the bowls are filled with inert crud that has been blessed.
And have we taken a sample of the inert stuff?
You can take a sample of it.
I think we did.
I took samples.
Okay.
The inert and the magical one, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
where are we going to send those samples to?
And how about
Labs, yes, huh?
Yeah, the gnomes. Yeah, CSI lab.
CSI gnomes.
The gnomes have their own CSI.
Well, they have their whole alchemy guild in Tordurdum.
Ooh, there you go.
and
It's over there.
and we took samples from these barrels as well, right?
Yeah, Solo took a sample in the very beginning. That's where he dipped his whole hand in,
Yeah.
trying to get one amazingly.
I guess there's nothing else we can get out of here. No
I
treasure.
don't believe so.
Okay.
I think we should like dump all the stuff, and then throw a fireball, and then we leave.
Yeah.
How about
Don't
we?
have grease? Hey, don't you still have grease?
How about if we just destroy the barrels somehow? Just tap them open, and I'll burn what's left of the fireballs.
Yeah.
I tried that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you put them.
Put all the barrels in the middle.
Yeah, you guys can move all the barrels
on
into the middle.
throne, Fireball it and get out of here.
And then
Yeah.
we do a slow walk action shot as we leave the room.
Walk backwards, and the explosion behind you, and just walking gracefully, like
Nice.
Well, the
Slow
idea
I'm
is
just saying,
Slow motion.
if we're gonna do this,
Gotta do it
do it in
right.
style.
just want to destroy what's left here. That's all.
Torvin looks at the when he saw the amulet, he's like, "Ah, that be an amulet of Morgion. Best be careful with that. This is bad mojo." That's all he basically says about that.
Told you.
That's
Bad
all I
mojo.
gotta say.
So you guys pretty much put the barrels in the center of the room, and Torvin with his hand axe is taking he's following you guys as he's just smashing them. making this ooze flow on the ground. He's being careful not to get them on him, along with all you other guys. So you guys smash all the barrels, and there's this puddle of green ooze just in this room. And remember, it feels a little colder the closer you are to it. So there are some entropic energy that's being done here. Is that right, Mark? Something that absorbs heat.
Entropic, yeah, negative energy.
And so as you guys exit, I guess Bryn does a ceremonial goodbye. Is that right?
Yay, fireball!
No, he did the fireball over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Very coolly.
He just tosses his fingers behind his back.
We walk down this hallway, like the slow-mo action shot, and then the fire kind of blows through like that.
Nice. You guys are just walking, each one abreast as you're just walking down the corridors. It's in slow motion, from like
Pulp Fiction or something like that. We're like,
wait, is our bard still singing our theme song as we walk away?
Yeah, he's.
Wait, play the music.
As you guys are walking down the hallway.
Wow. You can play all that Grin with just one instrument?
Yeah, just with his voice.
Nice. Maybe we'll backstab the Sphinx. Let's get his stuff.
Dude, I want some payback with that Sphinx, man. I'm telling you.
the magical
Sphinxes are like, they're true neutral.
Over. Oh,
that one could
solve
be
a riddle, and then he lets the Medusa in, he lets the spider in, he lets fucking everybody in. The spider do riddles? I don't think so.
Man, you guys are pretty bitter about that Sphinx. So you make it safe. You guys make it safely out of this, out of the temple, and you're in this, in the desert sand area once again.
Hey, real quick,
mm-hmm.
I want to go back to where the bullets were. Are they
Okay.
still there?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to take more carapaces from it.
Okay.
Very smart. Make shields out of them.
Yep. Make shields, armor, whatever we can build out of those things.
Whatever you can milk out of them.
Sell it. I don't know, something. The meat. Sell the meat. Dried meat. That's a chow.
Okay. So yeah, the bullets are there. You've gone out, and Torvin already pretty much dissected them, if you remember, and he sort of spread their entrails and everything, limbs all over the place to sort of aid in decomposition. You guys have only spent one day out here, but it's amazing what beetles can do. They could strip an ox clean in like a matter of a day. So you see just the remnants of these carapace shells, the hide and the skulls and the bones. That's all that's pretty much left of the bullets.
Okay, we'll take what we can.
Yeah.
Skull. I'm gonna mount it on my bedroom.
The skull is about 200 pounds alone.
Sounds good.
You can hold on to that.
Yeah.
Oh, you can hold that.
That's all you, Miles.
You're gonna sink to the sand.
You're dragging
carry
it
that
in the
sucker.
sand.
All you.
No, actually, no. I'll turn it around and use it as a sled.
Whee! Down the dunes. Torvin thinks it's a good idea to go back to Tordurdum. He believes that there's enough. You guys have gathered enough information to sort of present this to the dwarves and maybe even the gnomes
To convince
for more
Yeah.
examination. As you guys are heading back to Tordurdum, you guys are within like a half day's hard march towards Tordurdum. And as you get closer to Tordurdum, near where the desert ends and sort of where the walls start, you guys are actually behind enemy lines. As if you know, Tordurdum's been under attack by various things such as ogres, goblins, orcs, and also the undead. So you guys are actually behind enemy lines right now, and you, from what you see, maybe about 400 yards or 400 feet out from you is sort of like the enemy's area for like cornering assaults and whatnot. And in the distance you see wyverns, and what you guys have attacked earlier or been attacked by. They're sort of doing something unusual, and you guys are just lying low on the dunes, sort of observing all this. The wyverns are picking up these big, fat, bloated humanoids, and flying towards the walls and sort of dropping them off. Can you guys take a guess to what's happening?
Chemical warfare.
Chemical warfare. Boomers. Yes. What was attacking Bryn earlier with the bile is they're sort of using them as dive bombs, and they're sort of trying to attack the walls with them. Ignore the catapults and siege weapons. It's just for effect right now. They don't really have them over there because it's not as planned, or it's not as official, siege. But you guys are behind enemy lines, and there's no way that you guys can see to get through to the wall at this point because there's basically the enemies between you and the wall. And you see anything from like 10 ogres, and maybe like 30 or 40 orcs, and about like 20 wargs, all spread across the horizon in different camps and silos.
Oh, I was gonna say if they're all together, fireball.
Unfortunately not. So there's separate,
like little cities.
yeah, there's separate cell groups that are sort of planning attacks against the wall. Torvin sees all this and is like, this can't be good. Tordudum has withstood centuries of warfare. It'll still stand by the end of today. And he thinks about it, he's like, I know another way to get into Tordudum. Tis a secret passageway. Only us dwarves know. So he's going to take you to, there's certain areas outside of Tordudum that are like secret entryways to get back in. Either for raiding, when they want to be, covert at night, they could come out these secret entrances, or when they want to flee back from like some of these land patrols, if they're under a lot of distress or duress, they'll flee into these secret doors. So Torvin brings you into where he knows, and he knows this area pretty well. Torvin's a dwarf of Tordudum. Although he wasn't an outpost, a keep, there's still very strong ties between them and Tordudum. It's not that like they're separate; they have rotations and whatnot. So he's like a pretty good. He's very knowledgeable. So he brings you to a secret door, and you see his armored fist just go clank, clank, clank against this stone boulder, from what you could tell, and you can't even see where the secret door is. That's how crafty the dwarven stone cutters are. And you hear Torvin just chant something in Dwarvish. Do any of you guys know Dwarvish?
No.
Nope.
And you hear him speak something in Dwarven that you haven't heard before. You guys have been with the dwarves for quite a while, but you don't recognize what's being said. And then all of a sudden, from the rocks, you just see a slit open up, like an eye slit. It just moves into the rock and to the side, and you see this dwarvish pair of eyes, about chest high on you guys, about stomach high for Malachi. And you hear a response in Dwarven.
Oh wait, I do know dwarven.
Okay, you don't know the word. It's not a common word that is used, but you know it's a passphrase type thing.
Oh.
And you hear them speaking in Dwarven to each other. And to summary what Bryn can understand, he's just saying there's sort of a formality that's going on, and sort of checking to make sure there's nothing else, like he's not under distress, he's not being coerced into saying this, sort of handshake protocol type stuff. And after that occurs, a door opens up at the side of this boulder, and you could have sworn there was nothing there before. It was all perfectly sealed, and you looked 100% like a boulder, even with Nahum's keen eyes or whatnot, and Solo's ability to perceive things. He's like, I've never seen something like this before. And you guys come in, and the door seals shut behind you guys, and you see just like maybe 5 or 6 dwarves manning this secret entrance, and they see you guys come in, and they revert to common, and you hear Torvin talking to the dwarves, and they're sort of discussing things that have been going on, what you guys have been doing, how the keep was assaulted, and how it was sort of almost overthrown, and then you guys came to save the keep. He goes on talking about the Temple of Morgion, how you guys went to investigate, and you guys have some samples, and the dwarves look a little grim, and they're like, we've been seeing the same things here. Have you noticed? We're being attacked by these undead creatures too, and some of us have fallen ill to this ill corruption, as you call it. And so they're giving reports to you guys that the same thing has sort of befallen the keep. Torvin's talking amongst the dwarves, and he's talking about his family and whatnot. And he's like, I best be going to see my family before they catch wind of me being here. I'd hate for them to hear about it first. And he's like, I'll meet up with you guys later. And so he's gonna go towards and sort of recoup and figure out what's been going on and meet up with his family. It's been a while since he's been home. The dwarves tell you where Duncan is, and he's sort of on patrols of the wall right now. What do you guys want to do?
We go to him. Yeah.
Let's talk to the alchemist guild.
Yeah, you could do that too. Either
Yeah.
or. What do you guys think?
Then we're gonna start splitting up. I'm gonna head to like a chapel of some sort.
Go talk to
Okay.
the gnomes.
Yeah. Sure. Let's split up and yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go with Duncan.
I'll take the samples to the alchemy guild. See what they can.
Okay.
And I'll take the icons to the nearest chapel or whatever.
There are some temples dedicated to both Rarix, which is the god of dwarves, and Paladin and Mishikal. And you've been there, you've been there quite frequent, so you know exactly how to get there. Does anyone else go with Nahum, or is it just him?
Actually, Malachi tends to stick with Nahum, so maybe. Yeah, I'll stick with Nahum. He tends to stick around with him.
Flynn, Bryn. Oh, Bryn's going to alchemy. Flynn. So
Yeah,
Solo,
why don't you guys report back?
Solo, you've been in Tordudum before. You were actually part of a patrol that sort of got wiped out, and that's how you met up with this group. You found some tracks and you followed this group into the temple, and
Survived by
you
running
decided to
away.
join it. So you're not a deserter, not yet, at least.
No, it's called the tactical redeployment.
Yes, he's been assumed into your cell group for now. So what does the bard and what does the ranger feel like doing? I think someone should report to Duncan at least.
Report back to Duncan. You guys tell him what you saw. We found.
Healed up and stuff. Sounds good.
Okay.
Do they have a
So-
vault here by any chance?
Do they have what?
A vault or anything like that? To
Storage?
store- Yeah, so I can put like gold and stuff since that's what my character has on.
Yeah, you guys have your rooms. It's a shared room with you and some other dwarves, and you do have a chest there with a lock and key that each one of you guys have.
All right, I'll dump basically the gold and the potions of flesh, stone to flesh.
Oh, stone to flesh.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and just dump those in the chest, in one of the chests. That
Okay,
way
so
we can
in your-
split it later, and then
Yeah,
head to
in
the
your-
alchemist guild.
So Bryn and let's go through Bryn and Solo for now. They meet up with Duncan and Callan. They find them on the wall, and they are being sort of not really under siege. They're sort of in between waves right now, and you see that they're really tired. Duncan, of course, is glad to see us. Aye, my brothers. Or Callan's sort of glad to see us. Aye, my brothers. Good to see you again. What took so long? And Duncan's like, it's been over a day since we seen you. You should have been back a day or two ago. Because if you remember, your original task was to bring Agor Steeltoe, a banished dwarf, into the outskirts of Tordudum to let him free in the Underdark, namely because his brother was a traitor and his whole family was banished. And that's where you were returning, and that's where you found the keep and the temple and whatnot. But he's like, did you do it? Did you bring him to the Underdark?
And he didn't seem too happy with it either.
Do you tell him about how he's like, I think one of the things you remember strongly from that moment was how he's like, curse you, curse you, Duncan, curse you, Tordudum. That's like one of the last things Agor says as he was descending on that lift, going to where the darkness starts.
Right.
Do you belay that, or do you keep that to yourself?
Oh yeah, we'll tell him.
Okay. And so you tell that he's like, he has this downcast look on him of like full of sorrow, because Duncan and Agor were really good friends. They've been, neck and neck on battles, putting a shield to each other as a blow's coming to. They're thick and thin with each other. And so he's just really hurt by what he hears. He's like, did you give him the backpack at least?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we gave that to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys did. He's like, at least they have some food and some meager rations and a little bit of water, some weapons, to fend for themselves as they go through the darkness. The darkness, as he's referring to, is the Underdark. He just says there's no chance he will live longer than a month. And he just has this really saddened look. And he's like, so looking a little bright, he's like, where have you been? And we could just do you don't have to say line by line, but you basically give him the whole spiel of what's been happening. And you mention Torvin, a dwarf that's led you to the temple. And he's like, Torvin, you met Torvin? Torvin's a recluse. He rarely comes to Tordudum. I believe he has family, but other than that, he doesn't stick around too long. So he's more of an outsider, from what you could tell. You tell him about the corruption, and his eyes has this like stern look. He's like, "You've seen it also?" And you're a little confused because, well, you did see it being used, and you look at the wall, and you see that.
I am coughing still, right?
Oh yes, and he hears you coughing. He's like, "Oh, that cough. Many of us have succumbed to that cough. Also, you have the corruption, don't you?" And so he's like, "Don't touch me."
I'll pull up my shirt and show him my wounds.
Yeah, he's like, for the group, this is sort of what Flynn has told you guys. This is all, he expresses all this to the party afterwards. There was a point of time when the wall was actually very successful. This was about from a month ago till about a couple days ago. The wall has been very successful at repelling the denizens of the wasteland. All these enemies, because the main tipping point of that was when the lamp, these cannons that were created by the gnomes, were created, and they basically decimate undead. So the evil forces have not been able to use the undead because the clerics have been using these sort of photon cannons that use divine energy to burst out divine rays that basically disintegrate undead. And sort of that's been a great boon to the defenders of the wall. And before you left, morale was high on the wall. Basically there were less people needed to man it because these lamp cannons were sort of doing a lot of the work for them. The enemy wasn't able to use undead because they're getting obliterated by these cannons, so they're reverting to more live creatures to attack the wall. But it's more expensive, it's more costly. Morale before you left was pretty high, but if you look at it now, you see dwarves that have slings on their arms with this black ooze and pus oozing out of it. You see a bunch of them huddled together and they're coughing. They're having the same coughing fits you are. But the main problem is the clerics that have been used to power these cannons are spending double energy to heal the wounded now. And so they're not able to man as efficiently these cannons. And Duncan has been expressing this as like siege tactics that is going awry. Basically, he doesn't have the divine manpower to man the cannons and to also double heal the wounded. And so more dwarves are succumbing to these wounds. And he has this really downward look on his face. He's like, those that die, they come back. They come back as shades. They come back as dead. And so he's saying that the dead that have fallen, that have succumbed to this corruption, they don't stay dead. They come back. And special precautions have to be made when someone dies. Shoot him in the head, split the head off the body. He says, we have to burn them. We have to burn them with fire. And he's sort of expressing what you need to do to overcome it. And he's like, aye, best if you start feeling like you're about to pass away, to light yourself on fire. It's easier for you to do it than for others to see you do it. So he's sort of expressing what needs to be done. And you see that the wall is only maybe 2/3 full of what it used to be. It's having a very hard toll on the dwarves. He hears that you guys have samples. Flynn expressed that also, and he's like, you have some samples of this stuff? We've been just being, basically they've been either hit by it or puked on, but they haven't been able to capture any of the samples as readily as you guys have. And you guys have a non-100% version of it, which sparks his ears. It's like, hey, let's go bring it to the alchemy ward.
Oh, it's already on the way.
So Flynn expresses how Grin, the sorcerer of the group, has already gone to the alchemy guild.
The noble of the group.
Yes. And let's switch over to, do you guys have any or does Flynn or Solo have any questions? Or as a group catches up with Duncan later on, do you guys have any questions for him?
How are things going?
So what's up?
What's up?
Yo.
He's like, he has this downtrodden look. He's like, days couldn't have been worse. Our clerics are outnumbered. Our healing powers are to the brim. We've been spending more on healing ourselves than we have been using these cannons. They sit idle now, and the enemies have been resorting to bombarding us with these bloated corpses falling from the sky. So that's how they're sort of delivering the crud to the dwarves for right now.
And they haven't found a cure or anything?
Have they ever thought of using the lanterns to nuke the loaded?
They've been trying, but these cannons were primarily meant for ground attacks. They never thought of adjusting it for bomb and aerial attacks. So these cannons have to be retrofitted, which is what the gnomes can and need to be doing to make it aim upwards more. Because originally it's just level to down, because that's what they were firing, but they never thought it to go up.
Maybe like 1 or 2 high point.
So you make that suggestion, and you actually see that the gnomes have been sort of retrofitting some of the cannons, putting gears to allow it to move upwards instead of just downwards. Good suggestion. The Alchemy Guild, let's go and switch to that. Grin brings a sample, and you see that the gnomes have been busy analyzing the crud. They have like these special gloves that you believe to be divine, or at least blessed by a cleric, perhaps.
I know, I have knowledge arcana, so of course I'll know that.
Yes, you do. They're taking special precautions not to touch it. The gnomes have been fared better. They don't actively go into combat. They're more of a support role, and so they are busy. They have probably like 70 to 80% of their manpower trying to decipher the crud, trying to boil it, flame it, freeze it, try all these things on it, use force on it to figure out what makes it tick and try to disseminate a cure for it. They've been doing tests on on animals and whatnot, trying to see what the effects are and how to counteract it. The gnomes say is one thing we have been able to assess is that if clerics are able to cast a remove disease, it just temporarily is able to remove the effect. Temporarily, we've seen that it is effective for about 20 minutes or so before the compound takes form again, and it starts attacking the central systems of the host and decides to resume its normal chaotic appearance. So he's basically saying, if you guys cast a remove curse, it's temporary. It's not permanent, as you would expect.
Now, how about a dispel magic?
Dispel magic that they have tried. Actually, there's not too many archaic. Actually, there are some sorcerer dwarves, so they have tried dispel magic, but it doesn't. Yeah,
first 7 of me has it.
It doesn't seem to have any effect at all. So this compound, it doesn't have an effect. Either the compound's too advanced, or the magic isn't strong enough.
So that means this stuff must be distilled somewhere, or it's a long ritual.
Some process or ritual needs to take place. But so far, what the gnomes have been able to discern, just from maybe a week's of research, is that, or not a week, maybe a couple days research, is that it's not flammable, as you guys have seen. It has a low freezing point. It attacks the host, and it attacks their immune system to not heal as efficiently, as you guys have seen. Remove disease doesn't seem to cure it as you would expect.
And how about acid? Anything acidic used on it?
Anything acid doesn't seem to have any negative properties either.
Okay. So if we go through all the elements, they've already tried all the elements.
They're trying, and they've tried all the elements. Heat and cold being the first ones, acidic and force being the second ones, and then whatever air and whatnot.
Now, how about
electricity?
Cold forged iron? Have they tried that?
You could bring up the suggestion. They have a long list of combinations, permutations of things to try, because they're trying. Let's try fire then ice. Let's try fire then electricity. They have all these. They have all these different probabilities, and they just need time to sort of do all these experiments.
I was going to say, because demons are. I got planar knowledge.
Okay. So you bring your planar knowledge, and you don't believe it to be an extra outworld, extra planar effect.
They're aliens.
Yeah. It doesn't have any of the negative energy permutations that you would normally see with sort of extraplanar compound.
Okay.
So they're going to spend more time researching. They liked your idea of cold steel. They hadn't thought of that. Like, we'll add that to our formula. And they have this long formula list of combination and permutations of things to try. And they're going to try to spend most of their time just trying to tackle that.
I mean, there's also silver. They can try gold.
Yeah, different metals.
Different metals to see if it affects it. Those are my suggestions to them. Let's see what happens.
Noted. Noted.
Okay,
Good
there
job.
we go. Okay.
Yeah, you're brainstorming. You're throwing things out there, and they're either saying, "Oh, we had that written down," or "Oh, we'll add that to it."
Okay.
So they're pretty thankful. It's just like it's good. Always good to have a second pair of eyes. Us gnomes, we always like to think alike, but you humans, you're just with your short lifespan. It's just amazing to see what you guys can accomplish. And so he's just sort of lauding you on your out of the box thinking of metals.
Yeah. Let me show you my personal power.
Anyone else have any questions for the Alchemy Guild right now, even though you're not all there right now?
Alchemy Guild.
I think that's all I have for now.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I'll come up with something while we're on our next break.
For Malachi and Nahum, Nahum decides he's been in the presence of this corruption, and he feels dirty all over. He just feels like it's been a grueling day. They went to the depths of Tordurdum, they went to a keep, they've been in this desecrated temple of his nemesis god. It just feels tired, even though he hasn't been under any of these influences of this corruption. Maybe it's Mishiko protecting him, maybe it's because he's very fortuitous, you don't know, but he still feels weary, and he just sits down in front of this temple, and he sits down in front of the temple of his god, and he sort of weeps, and he's sitting there crying because he just feels like the effects of everything, being almost faced with the Agent of Morgion is just sapping his energy, and he just sits there weakened.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
You sit there, and Nahum's chanting and praying, and he's calling out to Mishiko, but for some reason he doesn't hear her. He doesn't hear her respond.
It's the amulet.
The amulet, yes.
Maybe not.
I bring it up. It's like,
of course you don't know anything that's been going on with him. You just see him sit in front of the metagaming.
I was specifically going to chapel to bring this to the priest. I mean,
Okay. You decide to cleanse yourself and do the proper ritual that you would normally do when you enter the temple, and then you feel like she's not answering you, and you want to bring the amulet. Your original intent, anyways, was to bring this amulet to the head priest, which is a human, not a dwarf. The dwarves, they sort of pray to a different god, Rarix. So the human priest is there. Actually, let's do a priestess. Change things up a little.
Okay.
And you bring her the amulet, and she looks at it, and she puts it on a cloth. She's not willing to touch it, sort of as you were not willing to touch it either. Number one, hard aura, and she's they have a lot of scrying already precasted upon them daily, and she knows it to be a negative aura of evil and malicious energies. She sees a symbol, and she definitely recognizes it as to be the symbol of Morgion, and she inquires to Nahum about this agent of Morgion and what he said and what the conversation was about. Can you roll a perception? Okay, plus your will and stuff. So you recite from what you remember the conversation between those two, the mummy and the cloaked figure, and how the corruption was in multiple temples, how there's a ritual that needs to take place to sort of fulfill the corruption, and how there's an inert version and a active version. And she's sort of taking this all in, and she's like, I must inquire within the covenant, the group of priests, to what you have told me. It's very troubling. Oh, it's very troubling what you just said, because I forgot it's a girl. What you say is very troubling. I will be in prayer about this. And so she's gonna take the amulet for a little while, so that she could record things and write things down. Do you let her do this?
Mm-hmm.
She does also notice, as you have, that not only was this a holy symbol, but has been augmented into a store spelling device. And she looks at it and she's like, this is of great value for you to give to me. So she knows what it's capable of, and she decides that she will hand you a blessed one of Mishikal. She's like, I believe you you to be worthy of such a such a magical.
Wow.
Hey, we can
Kick ass.
Yeah, such a magical. You have found favor, and you are worthy for your feats of defending and killing. To say this
drink
Agent
water or
of Morgion.
something.
Yeah. So in my worst voice possible, she gives you something that's reciprocal. Instead of a holy symbol of Morgan, she hands you from the back chamber. She brings forth a one. They have similar things of Mishakal, and it's an amulet of Mishakal to replace or to in addition to what you have, and it's also a spell storing one. So.
Cool.
So basically,
What's a
you
second
can
and third
recite a third or second level spell as if you already cast one that you already casted.
A what? How much?
Second
You can-
and third.
You could recite from prayer. It basically allows you to recast a second and third level spell.
Nice. Is it
And
considered a pro power?
Yeah, it's considered a pearl of power,
Oh,
Nice.
but
nice.
for divine
Divine.
only, and only
Nice.
second and third.
Very cool.
Dude, you made off, man.
So this, so I can talk to Mishkal again.
Yeah, once you relinquish the amulet, the amulet of Morgan, you feel as if her presence is once again with you, and you feel as if the amulet itself was hindering. Yeah, was hindering your communication with her.
I figured. Didn't want to leave this amulet anywhere else.
Yeah. Pretty much that's the end of this adventure for now.
I want to go to an armorer.
Look at the slide.
Oh, hey, armor. Well, while you're doing that, I want to see if the armor can do anything with these bullet carapaces.
Bullet carcass, I'll have to take a look into that. It's something they normally don't work with because they deal mainly with metals, but with hides, they might need some help of the rangers, and there are a few ranger guilds, that they'll have to inquire about because this isn't their normal thing. So they'll hold on to it and they'll let you know what you can take from it.
Wait, they're not going to keep it until the...
Huh?
They can't keep it as long as we get it back.
Well, yeah, they're basically holding it and they're gonna ask the rangers what they can make out of it. So it's not like you lose it.
Okay, we can trust them. They're not going to steal our stuff.
Up to you.
Oh, great.
Same with the corruption and the gnomes. Can you trust them?
I don't know.
At this
Have we
point,
worked
we
with you
have
guys
to.
before? We've been here for a while. That's fine. No, we'll trust them. I'll keep one thing with me.
So one of the things that Naam does is he pulls those 6 armors that he found from those dwarven Malachi, yeah, from those dwarves that were ambushed. And remember the boomers and those floating dwarves. He took their armor and their heirloom armor, and he's going to return them to Tordurdum for X amount of gold, I think. Basically, the heirloom armor, it's sort of like, I need a way to reward you guys. So I made that up, so it's not going to happen all the time. So, yeah. Every dwarf you come across, don't say, I take his armor, I expect gold from it.
Please join us next time as we journey through the world of Astar.